another set of interviews tonight. I get to speak to three guys who played in Belfast, over 400 games between them. And, I love doing this. I think it's great. You get to reminisce on successful seasons and successful games that we've had. I'm one of these guys, well, the first guy we're going to bring in, he played on both the Challenge Cup finals and won the league title in Belfast. And he's back home in Canada, not North America. He's back home in Canada at the minute. I'm delighted to welcome on with us. It's Kevin Raine.
KG.
Rainer, how you keeping?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay, mate. I'm okay. At the minute you've got a real job you have to get up early and get on the road early days, yeah?
Yeah, something like that. Adapting, right? I think it's been just a little over a year since we got word that the season was canceled, and so it's been an interesting ride.
Yeah, for sure, for everybody, and obviously, we're still not out the other side of it yet, but hopefully the little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel is getting a little bit brighter every day.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we just went into lockdown here in Ontario, in Canada. That's 28 days of lockdown we're about to head into, and so it's a year later, but the conversations around, we're not sure, we don't know, right? And we don't. And so I think, hearing that consistently over the course of a year, you kind of decide rather than wait and hope, you kind of got to get moving. And so that's what I tried to do in getting a job and getting to work, and currently working at a school, working one-on-one with a young lad who needs some extra assistance, and was able to get somebody to cover me from 3 till 4 here to make sure I was available for this. So happy to be here, and hope everyone is well, thinking about everybody. And yeah, we continue to wait for those next announcements, right? See what's next, see what legislation's in place, see how it goes, see how it pans out, but you got to keep busy.
Brilliant. That's brilliant, Ryan. Thanks for taking the hour off. We really do appreciate it. The next guy that comes in, well, he scored an important goal. Just so happened to be the game-winning overtime winner against the Guildford Flames. Didn't come into Belfast until mid-January. Made a massive impact immediately. Scored 2 goals in the semi-final against the Glasgow Clan. And as I say, got that winner, and took quite a while to shake those gloves off to start celebrating. Jordan Smotherman.
Hey, KG, Rainer, how you guys doing?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
I'm good, Smo. I'm good. You're in Denmark at the minute, yeah?
Yes, currently we're going to play our second game of the semifinal series tomorrow. We're down 1-0 after Tuesday.
You come in again around about January. You started playing a game this year, obviously with the delays in North America. You took a chance to get a game in Denmark.
Yeah, I think it was right end of January. My paperwork went through, and I finally got to start playing. I got over here, I think, on the 16th or something like that.
And it's going okay at the minute. You've obviously, as I say, deep into the playoffs and hoping to get a result. I think you play tomorrow night.
Yeah, play tomorrow night. We've got a good team. We didn't show up in game 1 and still had a chance to win, so we're hoping to bounce back tomorrow and tie things up at home.
Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that indeed. Third guy we've got coming on, and this guy is an absolute beauty. We talked about how important your goal for the championship was, Smo. This guy set you up for that goal. He also scored probably the most memorable goal that's ever been done at the SSA Arena / Odyssey Arena when he scored against Ireland in the Continental Cup. Unfortunately, we didn't win that game, which we will have a quick chat about as we move forward. But delighted to welcome Dustin Johnner.
Hey guys, good to see you.
Hey Johnny, how you going, man?
Good, hanging in there. Just kind of going through what everybody else is going through in this world today. So, just the family's all healthy, and everybody around us seems to be managing the best they can, and we're just waiting for normalcy to come around. Hopefully sooner than later.
Whereabouts are you at the minute? You're in back in Canada. Whereabouts?
Yeah. So I'm back to living in Sylvan Lake, but in Alberta. But I'm just here at my office in Red Deer working away, and snuck away, closed my door, and started talking to you guys. So hopefully nobody barges in on us.
Well, we'll try not to keep you too long. We do appreciate your time. We in the intros there, we touched on the Continental Cup game. Rainer and John, you both played in that game. Actually, that tournament. And Rainer, talk us through you're 2-0 down against Ireland, who they were a really good team to play against, very well structured. And, coming into the third period, you've got the conversations, just keep going, doing what we're doing, getting the first goal back, and then obviously being on the bench when Dustin Johnner scored that second goal must have been just absolutely incredible.
Well, I think it's funny when guys recall back games and recall back. There's guys that can tell you, oh man, this period, first period, this happened. Do you remember that? And for me, I'm not so well at recalling specific events, but the one thing I do remember is how loud that building was, and that's something that we'll continue to talk about until the end of time, right? Just the energy and how loud it was in that building, and being at home for that was super special, of course. And fortunately, it didn't pan out the way that it went in the end, but man, that was loud. That was loud.
Johnny, you're going to have to talk us through your experience of that and your recollection of it as well.
I remember seeing it in a post while after on social media. And when you're in the moment, it's part of the game, right? And you're so excited. And I didn't remember who passed me the puck or how I got it. I just don't remember where the goalie was or anything. Just you're kind of one of those ones where he gets on your stick and you shoot and it goes in, and start celebrating like I do, over celebrating like I seem to do quite often. But then you watch it back, and there was a lot of things that happened there, and the play by Shedsy up to there and over to Furley, and it bounced over a guy's stick and landed on my stick just at the right time. And then you hear the noise, and I've been part of some teams that have won some championships in the past, and even though we lost that game, I don't think there's been as many comments a year later or 2 years later where people talk about it again and post it, and Dustin Johnner Day was a hashtag there. And I was like, for me, I would have wanted to win the game, but it's things like that, for me now being done and you see those posts, it actually means a lot. And being able to have social media keep reminding you of those memories is going to be pretty cool going down the road.
Smo, you've an interesting story on watching that game and how it came about because you'd just agreed to come to Belfast at that stage.
So I'd actually, this was before I had found before I had signed the contract to come that year. I had actually 2 days prior signed my contract for the following year. And I was sitting on a bus coming back. We just got smoked by Munich in Germany. The bus was pretty quiet. And I remember I was sitting watching the stream on my phone. When you scored that goal, I remember I let out like yeah, all the guys in the bus kind of turned around and stared at me. I wanted to play in the Champions League, so I was pumped watching that game. I had some vested interest, and when you scored, I was going. And then when the shootout didn't go so well, I got quite quiet on the bus myself again.
I let out a yo as well. Believe you me, I nearly fell off we were right centre ice for that game, which normally we're up in Suite 24. But I nearly fell off the top step as well. But that's another story. Johnny and Raine, losing that game, did it give you? I mean, obviously you're feeling really down after the game. You didn't have too much time to feel sorry for yourselves because you had a big weekend coming up. I think it was against Cardiff. But did that give you any extra impetus heading in to the likes of the Challenge Cup final against Guildford Flames, Raine?
Well, I mean, it hurts, right? And so, of course, the conversation surrounding going into the next game against Guildford, or in the kind of returning back to, standard regular programming, you go forward, right? You can't look at what happened, but when you're able to recall what happened and use it positively, then it's a bit of a fuel in the fire. And so there's no doubt that the sting of that allowed us a little bit of extra step and to ensure that we were able to be able to go on, right? And so, yes, it's something you reflect on, but it's not something that you let slow you down.
And Johnny, again, there was probably 8 weeks between that final against Ireland and heading into Guildford at the start of March, and a lot of hockey we played in between. You just sort of had to knuckle down and look forward to the next game.
Yeah, I think so too. Just building off of what Raine said, I think with the Challenge Cup being a one game off and having all that pressure on one game, we knew how much pressure there was going into that game in the Continental Cup too, and to have that defeat. But I think our team took it well, and it wasn't like we curled up into a ball and said, "All right, well, that's just kind of get through the rest until everything else happens. I think we buckled down and we wanted to win. I think, like you said, sometimes those hard losses are the best thing to get to a championship at the end. If you have that adversity midway through the season or at the start of the season, it can bring the guys together. And I think maybe that's what that game did for us.
I'm going to glaze over the semi-final against the Glasgow Clan quickly. But we lost 2-1 in Glasgow, brought them back to Belfast. Smo, you managed to get 2 goals that game. It was on Free Sports that night, or Premier Sports. But you managed to get 2 goals in that game and pushes on to the final itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was also maybe my 3rd or 4th game after getting there too. And I did not know what the Challenge Cup was. I'd never really played in an aggregate situation before. So doing the math during the game was somewhat confusing to me. I was going off of the football rules where I thought away goals counted more. And guys were setting me straight when it came to that. But certainly a fun experience to be able to contribute at least to the semifinal game as well.
So let's get to the final day. John, I want to go to you first. The year before against the Cardiff Devils, you had an injury, you had a bad injury earlier in the season. You were getting healthy, but you were a scratch for that game itself. And obviously, you wanted to make a big impact going into this game against the Guildford Flames.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, it was, first of all, I think I owe a lot to the team and the organization there for sticking with me after the year I had before that, where it was just injury after injury after injury. And I didn't really get to show what I had, but they stuck with me through the year. And then I think coming into that game, I had some fire because I think there was, in my own mind, I felt like I could have played, but, maybe I could have hurt the team too the year before. But coming back and having an opportunity to be part of that when you're actually on the ice is a total different feeling when you're in the stands. Of course, you're rooting for the guys and you get to be down there on the ice and celebrating, but not having that sweat running down your face and throwing your helmet off is a different feeling. And I was fortunate enough to have my family there at the end and knew it was going to be one of my last games and one of my last opportunities to win a championship. So it was pretty important, and it was one of those games where, I wanted to host that trophy and spray that champagne more than anybody did. So it was pretty important for me to get an opportunity and kind of make up for what happened the year before.
Put your champagne on hold for just a minute. I want to try and get her through the first and second period, first of all. Raine, we've got, as I say, you're the only guy we've had the pleasure of speaking to from who actually won back-to-back champions or Challenge Cup championships. The game against the Cardiff Devils the year before was, so many challenges to get to that game itself. This game against the Guildford Flames, you had success against the Flames all season, but you knew coming into the game itself that it could be a real battle against special teams, and ultimately that's the way it turned out.
Yeah, and I mean, as successful as you could have been throughout the season leading up to that game, it's down to that game, right? If you went 4 for 5 or you went 5 for 6 against them previously, I mean, you're in a one-off situation in this game, and so you kind of got to throw that out the window and just bring it, right? And so I guess kind of similar to the Ireland answer, right? Like you're just looking ahead. You're looking at exactly what's in front of you and shift by shift, period by period. And it comes down to this. And if we lose this, then it doesn't matter how far we've come because then we've not achieved, right? And so we all know what's at stake and we all go into that game thinking that, and we come together.
The end of the first period is 0-0. We just got a power play. I mean, they had a couple of big chances in the first period, and I'm sure you'll all agree. Basco all season stood on his head, and it was no different in the first period and the rest of the game in this one, Smoke.
No, absolutely not. He was solid for us from the time I came in. He won us quite a few games, and like Rainer was saying before, it's hard to recall specific plays, but there were a couple saves in that game that I definitely vividly remember, and him keeping us in it for sure.
Johnny, do you remember the first goal from Patrick Dwyer?
Yeah. I remember the puck going right by my face before it hit the crossbar. I think that's I didn't have much of an effect on that, but I remember Pat walking off the half wall and stepped to the middle and beat a guy like he did all year long and took the shot and scored. And that was a good feeling to get that first one because there's a lot of tension building up in that game with no goals being scored.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, you knew the Flames were going to come back at us. And Smo, again, one of the things that they were really strong at, especially that season, was having the extra man, and they managed to get a goal past Besco coming towards the end of the second period. What's your recollections of that goal?
I just remember it was they made a pass off the half wall down low, and he bumped it in the middle, and it was a one-timer that I think went in low somewhere. But I remember going into the third still feeling confident, even though we'd given up a late one, that we were the better team, and if we just came out and played our game, we were probably going to come away with it.
Raine, you were the king of the blocks over the terms of 3 years you were in Belfast. I can't remember, maybe Jimsy gave me the stats, but I didn't have a page big enough for to write the number down how many shots you actually blocked. But what was your thoughts on Boxy's block 3 minutes to go in the game, sacrificing his body for the team? He told us last night he only had 63 seconds in the game, and one of the things that he was talking about was, he just, please don't let this puck get past me. What's going through his head at that stage, and from an experienced blocker?
Well, I think if you rewind the clip back to right before it landed up at the D-man's stick, it was Roche trying to give it to him, and a bit of a misplay, but then Boxy immediately realizing whose assignment that guy was, and unfortunately he's winding up for a bomb, and he laid out, and maybe he should have covered up his face and maybe faced the puck. I can't go back in time to show him how to do that, but he turned his back, and he had a nice bruise after that one, because he did not take it in the padding, for sure.
Huge bruise.
Yeah. I remember seeing a GoPro clip of when he made the block and the puck ended up going out of the zone. He skated straight to the bench, and there's a moment it's caught on the Giants TV GoPro where he's like bent, doubled over backwards, and I'm not surprised, because one of those from accurate, that guy could shoot the puck smoke.
Yeah, no, he absolutely could. He had a bomb. Just both years playing against him, and every time we had the power play, it was shade the forward to that side or hope that Raine was in that lane. It was the only chance we had.
We're pushing in the overtime. OT comes along. The conversation in the room, as you've already said, Smo, it's just a matter of the guys are still feeling confident going into the overtime period, and not so far into that period itself. Ben Davies breaks down the right side, cuts to the middle, and gets a shot on Besco. And this literally turned flipped on a coin and went back up the other way. But Smo, do you remember? You were just on the bench that stage, ready to get on the ice, and that was a huge save from Besco.
Oh, huge save! The puck came right up the wall. I can't remember. I wish I could remember who changed for me. I should definitely send him a big thank you for that one. But yeah, the puck came up the wall, got chipped into that corner, and then Johnny took it from there.
Johnny, I'd love to do the commentating for you, but you're going to have to tell me what was your thought process again. You're just on to start your shift. You get the red line. You take it from there.
Yeah, I think the puck just came to me, and I just flipped it in. And I think I was actually I was supposed to have changed. I think my line mates changed, and I was the one that dumped it in. And I was like, I was tired. I'm like, my line mates changed. I guess I've got to be the one to forecheck. So I kind of just went into forecheck, and for some reason, I'm not sure who the deep man was, but he instead of just going up the wall, he bit on me and tried to sauce it over his partner, and I knocked it out of the air. Kind of luckily, hit my stick, I guess, and I looked up, and there comes Smo just busting down the middle all by himself, right off the bench, and I hit it to him, and when you give him a chance 3 feet in front of the net, he's not going to miss many of those. And then I just remember trying to throw my stuff off, and I tripped over their guy, and I couldn't get to the pile. It was just so much excitement. It's just one of those things where it happens so fast, and you just enjoy the moment. And it was pretty awesome to be on the ice and be a part of that goal.
Smo, you got on the end of the pass coming out. Again, did your eyes just open right up and you just said hit the target?
Yeah, it's funny. My recollection of the play was that I had a lot more net to shoot at. When I watched the replay, I actually see the goalie was out pretty far, and the angle was a lot tighter than it was. And I get that like sinking feeling, like, oh, how did that actually go in? But no, that was an incredible feeling. And then to see, I think it was Mark Garside, I think, was the first one that got to me after I like you said earlier, finally got my glove off that didn't want to come off. I think, Johnny, you followed him shortly after him after you had stumbled out of the corner. But just an incredible feeling to score a goal like that. I mean, it's kind of one of those dream scenarios you have when you're a kid. It's it's not the game 7, but it's still a one-off cup game, and you score the goal to win it. It was a dream come true for sure.
Raine, you're on the bench. The previous year against the Cardiff Devils, the game was over a few minutes to go. You could, you sort of could celebrate with a couple of minutes to go in that game itself. But getting the OT winner going into Lynette and Smo and Johnny already on the ice, what's your thought process from the bench? What was going through your head?
I mean, it's just a sense of joy, regardless of when you win, whether it be growing up or you win in these big games. It's just that feeling, right? It's the one that we play for, right? And so we jump off the bench. We as Johnny was saying, we're tripping over each other to get there. But it's just a big pile, and it's just you don't have a voice by the end of it, and it's exactly what you play for all season long. Then of course you get the champagne going and stuff, and I guess Johnny, we're gonna leave that to you. But yeah, it's what do you say about it? It's just awesome. And then to be able to celebrate in the corner where our fans are all gathered, and the bangs through the glass, and visiting the bench, and then back and forth between the bench on the ice and on the other side of the glass, it's just so special.
Johnny, was it your idea to hit Rise and make sure everybody hits Rise in the eyes with a champagne?
I don't know if it was my idea, but hey, it was perfect.
Obviously you touched on at the start of coming in when we first started talking about the game itself. It was so important to you to have your kids and your wife there. Was your mum and dad there too?
Yeah, my mum and dad were there too.
Yeah, so basically have your whole family there. In one of again coming down to the last month of your playing career, that must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Like I always get razzed a little bit when you watch back that documentary everybody's probably seen, where I couldn't keep it together for 2 seconds, but it was they were supported me through all that time. So it was nice to have them there and to be able to win and do that. If it would have been a loss, you just wouldn't have had that same feeling about it, I don't think. So it was pretty special, and it was, I had a pretty fun career over the amount of time I was in Europe and North America. So it was a pretty cool way to end it, and I couldn't ask for a better team, a better season, a better city, a better everything for my last couple of years. It really was the way I wanted to go out, and it was perfect.
And Smo, you come in from Germany with probably 25 games left in the season. Within 5 weeks, you've won a first trophy. Within 9 weeks, you had won a second trophy in the league champion while sitting in a bar. It wasn't a bad end of the season for you, was it?
No, not at all. It was all within a month and a half. It was a crazy turnaround. Went from a team that couldn't win a game, wasn't going to make playoffs, to 2 cups in such a short period. Was an awesome way to finish that year for sure. And like Johnny said, just an awesome group of guys. Welcoming from the second I got in the room, the whole group, and certainly a group that I'll remember for the rest of my life. There's no question.
Raine, again, you've got the first season in the Challenge Cup final against the Cardiff Devils. We win that 6-3 from memory. We get another championship against the Guildford Flames. Again, you've 350 to 400 fans heading over there on a Sunday morning to the Cardiff Arena. And then you pick up a league championship medal at the end of that season as well, in unorthodox circumstances. But, as a player, you worked hard all season along with your teammates. Must have felt pretty good when your new teammate at that stage, Ben Lake, scored that goal for Coventry.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to look at it in that perspective, how there's so many trophies in such a short while, and so got to be grateful for that. And to win it the way we did in a bar, and thank you to Ben Lake for that, is unlike any story of winning a championship I've ever heard, and I don't know that I'll ever hear. And so I can't express like the angst of the cab ride to the hotel where we're refreshing the point streak, refreshing, and everyone's we're not really, we're scared, right? We're in this like fear. And that was the feeling amongst this whole lobby. Refresh, 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 refresh. And then all of a sudden in a big, as if we were watching like a live game, the entire place erupts. And that's just another feeling you can't explain. Like, wow, I'm almost glad it played out that way, because, we've won the championships on the ice and we've done the gloves off thing. And now we get to do this whole new cool thing that, like I said, I don't think anyone else has ever got a chance to do. And so to be where everyone is who would gather to celebrate in the eventual celebration of that was already together. We were already there. And so what if that didn't go our way? What does that lobby feel like then? I don't even want to think about it. I just want to remember how good it felt.
And Johnny, I want to finish with you. That season, again, you knew it was going to be your last coming into the last few months. You knew it was going to be your last playing as a professional. You get basically a couple of minutes away from potentially winning 4 trophies. We get the final of the Continental Cup, or beat on the penalty shots. You did score a penalty shot, by the way. I know you didn't remember that one, but you did score a penalty shot. We get the Challenge Cup, we get the league trophy, and then the playoff final against the Cardiff Devils. If somebody had told you at the start of that season, or the start of the 2 years in Belfast, that your last season itself would be that successful, let's be honest, it was just an incredible season.
No, I know. I don't think I could. Like I said, I don't think I could have written it up a better way to finish a career. But I knew after when I talked to Steve Saviano about it, that I wanted to go to a team that had a chance to win and was full of good guys, and the organization was great, and that's what I wanted to finish off with. Just a great experience, and then just winning and having all the trophies and all that kind of stuff to go along with it, and all the celebrations and all the good times we had, and all the road trips and everything that were so much fun. I think you just can't beat the way it ended, especially for me. I wish that a lot of guys could finish their careers that way, and I feel bad for a lot of guys who finished their careers last year and didn't get to even know when their last game was going to happen. I knew that was my last game, and that's the way I wanted to go. So and I haven't looked back yet, and I'm fine with it. And of course, you miss the adrenaline, you miss the boys, you miss the dressing room, you miss all that. I don't miss Kiefer's bag skates and all that kind of stuff, and having to ride the bike every day. But no, it was honestly everything I could ask for.
Gentlemen, I really do appreciate your time. It's been fantastic meeting up with you again online, yeah. But I really do want to thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us tonight regarding that game against the Guildford Flames. Johnny, take care of yourselves. Raine, hopefully, we can get those skates tied up again. And Smo, good luck with your playoff run. I know you're battling down there in that big game tomorrow night.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Kitch. See you later, fellas. Good luck, Smo.
See you guys.
Good to see you.